What's going on? What's going on? My name is Rashad. People usually call me Ayo Rashad because it's my IG name and that's how people like to say hi. But I am a poet from Los Angeles. I was originally, I went to Crenshaw High. It's a little different than Pasadena, but I was a scholar. So I'm excited to work with you all, future scholars, and be able to send you this video. Alexander is awesome. So big shout out to you. And I want to make sure that we're able to go through a couple poems. But before that we do that, what's most important, first and foremost, is that you take out a piece of paper and that you take out a pen. And I want you to be able to write down what you're feeling and what you're thinking right now. So you're gonna have to pause the video at this point. And you're gonna pause the video because you need to do this. You need to write your name at the top of it, and then I need you to write your poet name next to it. Okay? I'm lucky. Rashad's my middle name, so it also can double as my actual name and also as my poet name. So I want you to pause the video and write down your name and write down your poet name. All right, now we're back. So the next thing I need you to do is I need you to divide that paper into 3 sections. 3 equal sections. It can be horizontal, it can be vertical, it can be horizontal, it can be vertical. Each way is up to you how you want to do it. But in these 3 sections, I need you to write down mind at the top of one, body at the top of another, soul at the top of another. So now we have 3 sections called mind, body, soul. And at the top we have our name. So we should have Rashad, your poet name at the top. Left side, mind, middle side, body, right side, soul. Doesn't matter if it's vertical or horizontal. Now, what's the top 5 things that are important for your mind? For your mind to be healthy. What I like about poetry, most people think that poetry is depressing or poetry is real serious, and that poetry, just focuses on the bad things. And for me, in my opinion, poetry really just lets it go. It just lets it out. Like, finally, I have a space and a place to do it. Poetry is high level journals. Okay, it's about our experiences. It's about who we are, what we've done, what we've been through, and how we're continuing to rise through different challenges. But in order to rise through a challenge, you have to acknowledge the challenge. And so that's what I love about poetry, is that it allows me to, maybe I'm journaling about something that I'm going through. But with me, all my poetry always comes back to the fact that it's about overcoming challenges. It's never about the challenge. So every time I want to talk about something negative, or I have a negative experience in life, and it forces me to write poetry, to journal about it, to say that I need to write something to get it out because I can't handle it just in me, right? I got to acknowledge what part of me is it speaking to? Is this a problem with my mind? Is it a problem with my body? Is it a problem with my soul? Because I have insecurities in all 3 sections. I have challenges in all 3 sections, but I have triumphs in all 3 sections. I have ways to excel and go to the next level in all 3 sections. So let me make sure that my journaling reflects not only the trials and tribulations, but also the triumphs that are happening or are going to come about. So now you have those sections. I want you to pause the video again in about 10 seconds. And what we're going to do is now you need to write down the top 5 things that are most important to you. And actually pause the video for about 5 minutes, because I think this will take a while. What are the top 5 things that are most important to having a healthy mindset? What are the top 5 things going to be important for you to be able to love and appreciate your body? What will be the top 5 things that you need to write down or that you're going through that speak to your soul? Okay. Mind is about mental. How mentally strong and prepared do you feel to go through your challenges, right? Like what are you mentally challenged with? What is on your mind a lot? Body wise, right? How much do you love yourself when you look in the mirror? What do you wish you see? What don't you see? And then let's acknowledge what you do see and what improvements maybe you've made from the age of 14 to 16 or the age of 12 to 14. Things that maybe you couldn't do physically at 10 that now you're happy to be able to do at 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. And then soul. What do you care about the most? What are your passions? What are your dreams? What are the things that you do that don't necessarily revolve around the cost of it, but revolve around the feel? It just feels good. And maybe you don't have an explanation beyond that. These are 5 things in my soul that feel good. All right, pause the video. Mind, body, soul. And we're back. So, mind, body, soul. You now have 5 things for each one of those. I want you to know right now, each one of those can be a poem. And so here's a poem that I wrote where I actually talk about mind, body, and soul. Just a little bit. Because what you're going to need to do is be able to write poetry about one of these 15 topics that you just picked up. And you may see that they're tied together in some way. So I'm going to recite this poem called Underground King, which was about me having the right mindset to believe, to believe that I can achieve no matter what, that I'm worth it, I'm amazing, and that I have to remember that I'm amazing. And remember that although other people might not see my royalty, I see it. So I'm an underground king because I don't know if it's apparent to others. But the beauty of this poetry is that it doesn't have to be. So I'm an underground king, running fast like Harry, king of the city, speeding, passing, and all gold chariot. I got the world on my back. Don't worry, I can carry it. Success tastes better than fresh bacon wrapped asparagus. So life is simple, mind, body, and soul. I'm the water and the clay, maker of my mold. No longer a slave, so I could not be sold. I'm the best king around, 6 feet of gold. See my passions, talents, skills. I'm a walking inspiration. I give my best every day, the greatest compensation. So the greatest fact to say, I didn't hold back today. I gave my all, I rose up, I overpowered the fray. See, I'm the master of my fate. I'm focused all the way. And from this righteous path of God, oh, I'll never go astray. So that's Underground King. And that was a poem for my mindset. So one of the challenges I had with my mindset was waking up every single day and feeling as if I just couldn't conquer the day. I didn't believe in myself. I couldn't remember what I did. I couldn't remember that my passions, talents, skills make me a walking inspiration. That the fact that I have the confidence to be able to live in my truth, be my truth, speak my truth, and also be a physical representation of it inspires others. It should inspire me to continue to be the best version of myself. So I would say pause the video right here and let's take 10 minutes for you to write a poem. Short, sweet. We want the poem to be about a minute long. But let's pause the video for 10 minutes and come back and see what type of poetry that you're able to develop to attack maybe one of the challenges for your mindset, or one of the challenges about you loving and appreciating your own body, or being comfortable in your own body. And then let's also focus on how you could possibly write a poem that maybe speaks to your soul, your passions, your dreams, and your goals. All right, so now we're back. It's been 10 minutes, and if my calculations are correct, we have about 5 to 7 minutes left, based upon the pauses that we've done in order to be able to have our poetry and have our poems. I'm going to share one more poem, but here's what I think you should do, which is share your poem with the people next to you. So I'll recite this poem, and when I'm done, that's the end of the video, and I want I want to thank you all for listening and watching this video. I want to thank Alex for allowing me to be able to make this video and be able to make an impact and be able to express how poetry has continued to give me the best. Poetry is my best weapon for positive mental health on a consistent and daily basis, because I can control it and create it all on my own, and I can write poetry on my phone at any point in time. I perform poetry at the Greenway Theater, Fairfax High, almost every Tuesday. I'm at Hilltop Cafe, second and fourth Wednesdays, performing at their open mic as well. And then I also just record poetry and do performances at schools across the nation. I've been able to do it in Philadelphia, Oakland, Chicago, Los Angeles, and just use poetry as a way to be able to have a conversation about things that are challenging us. Sometimes it's hard to have real direct conversations about what's going on with us, whether it's as a community or as an individual. So I really use poetry as a way to be able to express myself, to make sure that at any point in time, if I can't say it a regular way, I can go to my phone, write it down, and say it down in a poetic way, and then boom, I can deliver that to the person. Or just writing it sometimes is enough. I don't even need to have to talk to you about it, because it's not about you, bro. It's about me being able to respond and handle the situation at hand. So another poem. This is actually a poem called Beauty. I write a lot of love poems too, but today I wanted to focus on positive mental health. Feel free to go to my Instagram. It's Ayo Rashad. So A, like the letter, Yo, Y-O, Rashad, R-A-S-H-A-A-D. And you can see some of my other poetry if you want to see like my love poetry. And then yeah, so instead I'll spit this poem called Beauty, which was also about me loving attributes of myself that people often shame because they're stereotypes of that often I was afraid to embrace at a young age, realizing like, it's about me being able to go into the mirror and look in the mirror and love myself. It's not about me being able to go to school or work or community events and hope that other people are validating who I am. You have to get to a point to where you love yourself so much you don't care about other people's validation, to appreciate it when it comes about. It's not a requirement for your positive mind state. So this is a poem called Beauty. It is in my eye, for I am the beholder. I told her. I come from a long line of hugs and holders, guns shooting the triggers of older, soulful soldiers of the Sahara's buffalo. For I am smart, rich, and loud. Smart. For the book's rooted in me, rooted in creativity. Scream through brass, obscene stories of common challenging Joseph Haydn's concertos. I am smart, rich, and loud. Rich. For the books of my library were free to enter my mind, a world greater than every city, not filled with James Baldwin's inceptions. I am smart, rich, and loud. Loud, for my voice sends beats into hearts pumping, blood of enlightenment down your spine, and in time you shall see my divine beauty. It is in my eye, for I am the beholder. I told her. I come from a long line of hugs and holders, guns shooting the triggers of older, soulful soldiers of the Sahara's buffalo. My name is Rashad, and I thank you for listening.